and justice for all.
Roll call,
Board
please.
Member Knight?
Here.
Board Member Nysel?
Here.
Board Member Speen?
Here.
Board Member Van Walken?
Here.
Supervisor DeScalani?
Here. Do I get a motion to approve last month's minutes?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Tonight we'll be having a presentation from Dr. Eve Walter, PhD, Public Health Director for Ulster County Department of Health, to tell us about the services they offer us residents. We have a presentation scheduled before our next regular meeting, September 8th, from 6 to 7 p.m., about research and designs produced by our engineering firm, SLR. They will outline flood mitigation efforts and enhancements we could employ if we find the funding, and in some cases, acquire certain properties that may become available. We have resolutions, one setting a public hearing to amend town code, allowing alternates on our planning board and zoning board of appeals. 2, setting a public hearing to amend our telecommunications law. 3, to acquire Phoenicia School for $1 to be used as affordable housing. We will need to take bids and offers from developers. 4, to hire a contractor to build natural playground in Glenbrook Park. 6, to hire Shadbush Consulting to create a Shandaken natural resources inventory, and also hire Hudsonia Limited to do GIS mapping as part of that NRI. 5, update and amend our opera funding. 6, appoint a dog kennel volunteer and recycling attendant. As part of our CRS, Community Rating System outreach from FEMA, those in the floodplain area who have experienced repetitive loss or have any insurance claims from flooding, we will have an open house for you on August 25th here at the Town Hall. Heidi Emmerich from Ulster County Office of the Environment and I will be here from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., so stop in my office when you arrive. We will be moving forward with if the town board agrees, to have a local flood analysis for Chichester. Much like Phoenicia, Mount Tremper, Shandaken, and Pine Hill LFAs, AWSMP will be our agent. We will have a request from our engineer SLR for a plan and a quote. There are a couple of properties that look good for a town hall highway complex, and we need to go into executive session to discuss our options at the end of this meeting. I want to offer thanks and appreciation to 2 long-standing members of our town employees who have resigned from their positions, John Horn and Joseph Rotella Sr. Thank you and best wishes for your future. As always, these notes and minutes and all of the town meetings are online at our town website, shandaken.gov. Or you can watch the meetings on YouTube. Thanks. Our next regular meeting is September 8th. One more. Supervisor report for revenues, July 2025. Ambulance, $14,064.28. Vital statistics, $30. SBA, $3,789.56. Town clerk fees, Easy Pass, $392.50. STR receivables, $8,950. Planning board, $150. Building permit fees, $8,693.10. Dog licenses, $52.50. Zoning, $650. Summer rec donations and scholarships, $4,886.90. Justice fees, $3,176. Miranda health insurance payment, $261.62. Cemetery sale of a plot, $290. Highway reimbursement for a credit card, $1,420.65. MHHB rental, $900. 2025 tax warrant penalties or interest, $27,790.25. Aflac overpayment, $359.82. Police fees, $45. Donations to the dog shelter, $587. Ruppco Wellington attorney fees, $270.75. Interest earned on all accounts, $7,614.78. Town of Lexington ambulance agreement, $10,000. Reimbursement from insurance, $1,714.19. Cornell Cooperative, $2,100.63 and 75 cents. Donation for the compost lift, $400. Donation to Glenbrook Park, $50. Donation to Shandaken Beautification, $950. Income to Highway, a reimbursement that was from last year, $59,048.52, for a total of $158,701.17. Joyce, Communications.
Did you mention about the planning board members that we're seeking, well, the legal ad we posted? Oh, I'll do
Make that in the motion?
What's that?
We can make that in the motion.
Well, no, I just want to let people know that we are seeking, we did make public notice and a legal ad today. They were seeking an individual to fill the position of John Horn in the planning board, non-compensatory position, to finish the term through December 31st, 2029. Meetings are 2 evenings a month. The town board is also seeking alternate members for both planning and zoning boards. All applications must be received in the supervisor's office by Monday, August right before the next meeting, 5th. I mean, the
Well, we
end of
can't
August,
close
very
seeking for the
second.
alternates before we've created the alternates.
Yeah.
So I think that's gotta
I
go
know,
till later
but
in
That's what our
September.
resolution's gonna be on. If we pass that law, we will be seeking people to.
Right, but we'd be passing it in September.
Right.
So we'd have to seek them after we pass it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we're still looking for somebody to fill John Horn's position. That one I posted, so, all right? That's it?
Okay, at this point, we'll move to our Dr. E. Walter, County Health Department Director.
Take a seat over your chair.
Does it go higher? I think we have the little CDs in our. Can you all see that, or maybe a bit higher? A little bit higher. It's higher and crooked or lower and straight? Higher and crooked. Unless you have one to put under this side to straighten us up. All right. Very good. Can you hear me, or do you want me to take up this microphone? You can hear me. Okay. So,
People at home can't hear unless you speak.
okay. Can I hold it like a rock singer?
Yep.
How's that? Perfect. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Eve Walter. I'm the Public Health Director in Ulster County. I really appreciate you having me here to say hello. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the Department of Health does here in Ulster County, and then I have a few slides that are specific to your town. So yeah, the Ulster County Department of Health, I like this slide because it shows you that we actually were established in 1947. So we've been here in Ulster County for a very, very long time. We have a mission to protect, promote, and improve the health and well-being of all residents for the best quality of life in all stages of their life. Let's see how this goes. So county departments of health are dictated under state law. So we're essentially the arms of the New York State Department of Health, even though we're hired through the county, and I'm appointed. So we have this core public health law 602 that are specific things that we are required to provide to our counties. And this includes communicable disease control, chronic disease prevention, environmental health, family health, public health emergency preparedness, education, and the development of health policies. And so most of local departments of health are funded by Article 6 funding from New York State. Very little comes from the county itself and your taxpayer money. Most of it's from the state. And they expect us to be doing each of these things, and they ask us to report on those. So I'm going to lay out what the different departments we have, that is how we address these particular things, plus some other stuff we do. So these are all of the different divisions within the Department of Health. The ones in orange are ones specifically designed for public health law to respond to what it said. So we have our patient services, health promotion, chronic disease prevention, public health preparedness, and environmental health. In addition, at the Department of Health, we have a medical examiner's office, which is separate from the state mandated services. And then we have the Women, Infant, and Children, or WIC program, is through the Department of Health here in Ulster County. Different places have different people do the WIC services. So for patient services, we provide adult and child immunizations. We are limited to only those people who have no insurance or are underinsured, which means that their insurance would not cover that particular immunization. We also just started home visits by nurses for high-risk pregnancies to check on mom and baby. We do weekly STI clinics and treatment. So not only do we have the clinics so somebody can come to us if they want to get tested, but also we are told if someone has an STI, they're required to inform us. We reach out to the patients, help track who else needs to possibly get tested, and help them with treatment. The same with tuberculosis. If someone has tuberculosis in the county, we're informed. This requires an isolation period for a certain number of days with regular medication. So our nurses will actually go to the home or wherever the person is being isolated every single day during the time of their isolation and provide services to them. Our Women, Infant, and Children program does nutrition for moms and babies up to the age of 5. This includes SNAP enrollment, breastfeeding education, and nutritional education. We have our main site in Kingston. We also have satellite sites in Ellenville, another one in New Paltz. I'm trying to get one in Saugerties. The location of the satellite sites are dictated by WIC. They tell us where we're allowed to have it based on estimates of the number of people who would be eligible. And what's also nice with the WIC program is with the SNAP benefits, you get a special WIC card and an app. And so when a recipient is going shopping, they can take a picture or go at the QR code, and it'll tell them whether it's WIC eligible, so they don't have to go to a cashier and find out that they can't have the food that they put in front of them. So it's nice. Our environmental health program is pretty big. This is probably about 25 of my staff members just in this. So we protect your public water sources. We approve water and septic plans for any kind of new development. We ensure safe food preparation, so your restaurants, your food vendors. Safe children camps, public pools and beaches. Safe migrant farm worker housing, mobile home parks, and temporary residents. So my environmental health team, they are out pretty much every day across the entire county inspecting restaurants and beaches and pools and all these other places to make sure that they are safe. We also have a lead poisoning prevention program. Right now people identify in a couple of ways. One, anyone can just tell us that they're concerned that there might be lead in their homes or lead in someone else's home. As long as we get permission to go, our inspectors will go and test for lead. That is voluntary. However, if we find there's lead, it stops being voluntary. Then you are mandated to approve it, and we have to work with you and issue a violation to an owner if they don't. So if we know there's lead, we can't set back. The second way we do it is if any child in the county has an elevated lead level, we're informed, we reach out, and that immediately becomes mandatory. We inspect, and we work with the owners to remediate, and also our nurses work with the families until the child's lead levels are cleared. We respond to rabies and insect-related potential illnesses. So just the other day, I was walking down the hall and someone said, "Hey James, don't forget the cat head in the refrigerator." You know, that's the kind of thing that you hear in the halls of the Department of Health. Yeah, we don't test the animal; they just take the head. I guess it's easier for storage. And also for ticks, usually if someone has a tick that they're concerned with, our experts will talk to the person and really assess whether there should be a concern or not. Depends on the time of year, the size of the tick, how long it's been there. While we do test ticks, we make it very clear to people that that's not diagnostic for the individual. The tick can have it and they may not. The tick may not and they could have it because it could have been another tick that got them. So we will test the ticks. We mostly do that for our own surveillance purposes. We also regulate illegal tobacco and vape sales, so no one is allowed to sell tobacco to individuals under the age of 18. And so we have a young person who will go around and try to buy, and if the vendor sells them the cigarettes, then we issue a violation immediately. Also, our people go in and look for the illegal vapes. Most mentholated vapes are not allowed, and currently any Juul products are not allowed in New York State. We do health promotion and chronic disease prevention. This is the part where we actually are partners with a lot of other different organizations and departments across the county. So we have a Healthy Heart Coalition. Our current initiative around chronic disease is Healthy at Every Size, or maybe we also have a Movement is Medicine. So you may have seen a bus with the Movement is Medicine campaign. We also have media education awareness, radio, TV, billboards, and buses. We go to fairs, go do events. We're really great. Did anyone go to the Ulster County Fair? No? So we had cooling towels, which, if I must admit, was a very brilliant idea on my behalf. I had no idea when I ordered them that the first 2 days of the fair would be in the 100 degrees, but it was this wonderful, so these are towels, and we had a nice cooler with ice in it, and we wet it, squeeze it, and give it to the person around their neck. And at one point, I was walking around the fair, I think on Wednesday, and just like everywhere I walked, every fourth person had this bright orange towel around their neck. It was amazing. We also had our nurses go and do blood pressure screenings, and anyone who was high risk, we sent them home with a home monitor and taught them how to use it, and we gave them a home monitor. We also like to go to schools, so if your school wants us, we'll be happy to go. Then we have a public health preparedness, so we work in partnership with Ulster County Emergency Response. And we are really working on developing a playbook for how to be prepared from the perspective of public health. So emergency management knows what it has to do whenever there's something. If there's a flood, there's a fire. They're trained from the very start on how to do it. Public health really is figuring it out as we go along. Well, we're trying not to figure it out as we go along. We had to figure it out as we went along when it was COVID. So we're trying to be really prepared. We're trying to say, well, what if there's an emerging disease we've never heard of? What do we do? What are the supplies we need? What's the staffing we need? What's the workflow? What's the communication model? What if it's a disease that has a vaccine? What is our plan for that? What if it's something like with flood or fire or smoke? Well, emergency management has their part. We have a different one. So for example, if you have a major power outage during flood, emergency management needs to make sure and work with you to make sure everyone's safe. For us, we want to make sure that if anyone has a medication that needs to be refrigerated, like insulin, that they're not leaving their house without their refrigerated medication, because that's not safe. Anyone have a medication or have a loved one who has a medication who needs refrigeration, like insulin or any other medication? Would you like one of these? It has a nice cool packet inside. So you keep that cold, and it says medication don't leave, so if you accidentally put it down, someone's going to grab it for you and make sure you have that. So our medical examiner's office investigate deaths that might affect public interest, such as sudden, unexpected, and unexplained deaths. All right, so the fun part for me on this is that we had summer aides, and I tasked them whenever they had downtime to make the slides for the different towns. So I never know what's going to come up. I mean, I had my assistant adds them in, but each aide designed the slides in whatever way they felt they wanted to. I made sure the information was correct, but they designed the slides. So, town of Shandaken, what do we do for you? Food service. So you have 23 food service vendors, 20 service establishments, and 3 mobile units that we permit and inspect on a regular basis. Children's camps and campgrounds. You have 3 camps, the Town of Shandaken Rec, Woodland Playhouse, and Woodland Play Travel, and 7 campgrounds, including Phoenicia Campground, Sleepy Hollow, and Woodland Valley Campground. We inspect all of those. Camps are particularly challenging because often you have the food, the sleeping, the bathrooms, and the water, like the pool or the lake. So we have often teams go out to these camps to inspect. Plus, we have to make sure that every counselor has certain things, every camper has certain things. So it's a pretty big team that goes out when it's a camp. Mobile home parks and temporary residence, swimming pools and beaches. So you have 1 mobile park, Twin Oaks. You have 27 temporary residents. Those are like motels, hotels, those kinds of things. 11 swimming pools and beaches that we inspect, including Pine Hill Beach, the Graham, and Emerson. So sometimes it's dual purpose. We're inspecting your restaurant and your pool in a hotel kind of place. Water and septic. So in the past year, we permitted 4 water systems and 16 residential and commercial septic systems in the town. All right, so just in closing, my hopes for our department over the next few years is 1, improve trust in public health. Public health trust has declined. It was not great before COVID. I don't think COVID helped trust. I think because lots of people get multiple different messages and it becomes hard to know what to believe. So I really want people to learn to trust us so that if and when another emergency occurs, if we're providing guidance, we want the people of Ulster County to be like, I know I can trust them. I may not be sure about what other people are telling me, but my Department of Health has my back, and that's what I want people to know. So 2 is improve awareness in our programs. Part of that is trust. If you know what we do, you'll trust us more. But also, I think we have a lot of programs that people don't realize that we have. And so it's really important that you know that we have them because they're for you. 3 is identify and meet unmet needs. We are doing a very large countywide community health assessment that gets to a very granular level. So this is hospitalizations, ER visits, deaths, doctor visits, a large survey where we can break things down to the zip code level so that we can identify whether there are particular conditions or issues that are happening in certain pockets of the county so that we can create a more tailored response. But also these kinds of things, like this is a huge county. If there's an unmet need that you know in your town, then let us know and we'll figure out if there's a way we can address it. One thing recently came up was this idea of requesting, and obviously I've got to find the money and I got to find a way to do it, but it's a great idea of having nurses do home visits of seniors and identify fall risks and just educate them on parts of their house that would be putting them at risk for a fall. And the last is to be prepared to protect our county's health. So that's preparedness, our own preparedness handbook, but also we're happy to work with the towns on how you can be more public health prepared. You know, if say you had a particular area that a building such as this, that you said, I want this to be the place that people could go if they were flooded out, powered out, or whatever, we might be able to say, all right, here's some of the public health things you should have, the AED, CPR stuff, maybe a blood pressure monitor, or other kinds of things so we could work with you on how to make sure the space is set from a public health perspective. And that's it. That was easy. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But you're the boss. Should I just pick people, or do you want to? All right. I think I saw you first in the back.
Thank you for coming, Doc. Can you tell me what the county health department does for the Pine Hill Water District?
So I assume that's a municipal water district?
It is.
So it has an operator?
It's small. It has 2 managers who I believe are the operators. There are 167 customers and about 300 residents among those customers.
So our inspectors would go at least annually, They do a quite thorough inspection of every nook and cranny of all of these places. I know because when I first started my job, I made them all take me on all of their inspections, restaurants, water systems. So they inspect it, they check the water levels, they check every machine. And so they do that at least annually, and it's required that those are fully inspected. If there is an issue, we are more as a guide. We don't have state mandate to, we can't force a test, we can't, there's some high thresholds that can make us force a water system to do something, but they're pretty high. For the most part, besides inspecting and guiding and making sure the water system works well, we then serve more as a guide.
So you're not doing random testing?
No, it would be, we would have not enough taxpayer money in the county to do that, or the state. No, we don't do random testing, but we would, if a municipality wanted guidance or assistance on that, we could. If they had results and wanted us to take a look at those, we could. Yeah.
Thank you for coming. So my question is about resources going forward, especially with all the cuts to the federal budget. What can we expect?
That's $1 million question. The positive right now is that the most of the money that I need to carry me over for the next probably about 12 months is already in New York State's coffers. So I have not, nothing has been cut significantly that impacts us in Ulster County. There are some small ones, such as a COVID-related funding, but we weren't utilizing that, so it didn't impact us. And then there was one with interns that was cut, but I didn't have any. So, but those are the only two specific ones immediately. I think the impact will come in a year from now. I mean, we see the changes with Medicaid and everything else. So it's impossible for me to know exactly what that will mean. I try to be very creative and find ways of continuing to provide the care as best we can, no matter what the situation is, and be prepared for anything. But I honestly don't know what anything is yet. Yeah. It's going to be a whole nother question if you ask me in 12 months, probably.
When you do lead testing, if there's a required abatement, do you, who pays for that? And especially if the homeowner is having a struggle with it?
It's tough. I mean, it is the homeowner's responsibility. We do have some partnerships to try to get grants to help when possible. They often are limited to certain communities. Like we are working with RUBCO related to Kingston communities to help with it. But it is the owner's responsibility in the end. I mean, they shouldn't want to live in that. What's not nice, for lack of a better word, so much of the lead problems are more remediation than abatement. So often it's windows and the friction areas, and so it often is replacement of windows. I did try, I had a grant that it was a lose it, use it, or lose it, and I was like trying to convince the county that I should just get like thousands and thousands of windows and figure it out later, but nobody would let me do that. I thought it was a good idea. Anyone else? Yeah.
We're pretty far out here. This is kind of a health services desert. You mentioned you guys do things like STI clinics and nutrition clinics. Do you guys ever come out here? Is there like mobile unit?
So I'm going to repeat the question. She asked, with the distance of Shandaken, do we ever come out here and do mobile units? So this goes back to like using my money frugally. Yes, but tell me what you need and I'll get the group together and do it. Like for us to just go and just be like, we're having an immunization day, and then have nobody show up. But if you have some kind of group, some way of having people and I even have a survey. and we're related to immunization, WIC, whatever we have, if I know, and I would be fine if it's at least 4 people who need something, I could send my nurses or my WIC people or whoever on a given day, come here or whatever and provide those services. It would just be very inefficient if I just had them all over the county kind of just sitting and waiting. So tell me what you need, I'll get them there.
One idea. So, one idea, because we've done the shots for seniors before here, and the only person who showed up was Bob, our handyman. But, what about like at the farmer's market or something like that, that's very popular, if you set up a tent there one day and offer.
Yeah, so,
Everybody, hey, yes, farmer's market people.
right, we've thought about that, I'll tell you. What we find is probably a similar thing, though. I go to a farmer's market and I see there's I'm not going to sit down and do that. I think actually pretty carefully, like, okay, I'm willing to have this sore arm or feel tired for tomorrow, and so unfortunately, even events, we've thought of it, events that brought a lot of people, someone's not going to just make that the time that they do that. Things like signing up for WIC, those kinds of things, the blood pressure reading, just, those kinds of things, but someone's not going to just walk up to us to get immunization.
Yeah.
But, like I said, we're happy to go to them, and we're even happy to figure out if there's homebound people. Again, my request is always that it's at least 4, if I'm gonna send a nurse out there, just to be efficient. Yeah. But the other services, for sure,
Yeah.
just not immunizations. I can also repeat it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, do you guys ever partner with healthcare as a human right for immunizations and stuff like that? Like where they offer all these health services for free to the community? Have you heard of it?
No, but,
Okay, they offer it in Kingston, Woodstock, and
right, but do they have different priority, like they can offer it whether you have insurance or not? Just because,
yeah, it's free. Free. Yeah.
right, but whether you have insurance or not?
Completely.
Okay, because we offer it for free completely,
Yeah.
but only to the people who don't have insurance. Because if you have insurance, it's probably free. If it's not free with your insurance, then it can count for us. Like, if your insurance doesn't completely cover it and you come to us, we will do it.
I'm one of their practitioners, and we have these clinics, they're monthly in Kingston, quarterly in Woodstock, and quarterly in Phoenicia, and it's just open to whoever.
For medical care.
Yeah, alternative, there are all these different
Right.
alternative modalities.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a wonderful way if there was one and you kind of used the survey and said, tell us what you need, and the next time we come here, we're going to have Department of Health sitting with us. 100%. I would happily do that.
I can hook you up with people.
All right, I have my card. I'll give it to you after.
Cool.
Can you say a little bit more about the best way to coordinate with you and kind of reach out?
Sure. I mean, if you Google the Ulster County Department of Health, then my picture shows up first. So there's that. Your supervisor has my contact information, so there's also that. Yeah, so I think that, I mean, I could just tell you I'm ewall@co.ulster.county.New York or whatever, but I think it's probably easier for you to go to the website, and I'll be right there. I got 2 emails, so you won't miss me.
I have a question about ticks.
Yes.
The high incident of ticks and tick-borne illnesses
Mhm.
this season. Is Ulster County keeping any kind of data, or do you get statistics from, because it's a real concern.
Yeah.
Treatment and understanding the different treatments that are available is quite confusing. So,
For you. Which one?
oh,
At least we get them,
oh,
at least we get them free in our office to give out to people.
Yeah, so we work with the state. The state does the surveillance, not the county, but I have a regular weekly communicable disease meeting and we talk about it. Be happy to know that they are moving and they're in their adult stage. They're less interested in you and more interested in making babies right now. Yeah, when we do education.
We've had 4 of my neighbors, we've all had anaplasmosis, including my dog, which is just,
Yeah,
it's been quite a,
So we have some great tick experts. So it's more of a phone call and talking to Stacy's our #1 tick expert, and she's very happy. Like, if you wanted Stacy to come here and talk about ticks, the main thing is you'd have to tell her whether it's 10 minutes or 2 hours, because she loves talking about ticks. Would be more than happy to come talk about ticks anytime you wanted her to. And she'd bring tons of tick twisters. Yeah. All right, well, thank you again for having me. I'm gonna just pull all my stuff together and then let you have your meeting.
Hold on. Thank you.
All right, let's move into committee reports. Ambulance?
July 2025 report. Total calls received 46, mutual aid given 4, Town of Olive, Lexington, Greene County. Mutual aid received 4, multiple calls in the district, multiple patient accident. Total transports 24, total non-transport 22. Summer months are always busy for our ambulance service, and this past month was no exception by far. Of course, weekends are the busiest for call volume this time of year, and that extends to our surrounding ambulance services as well. From time to time, we will provide mutual aid into neighboring areas, and vice versa, but sometimes call volume is so extreme that assistance from afar is needed due to everyone being as busy as Shandaken at the same time. On July 22nd, call volume in the county was extreme. As Shandaken was operating with Olive at a rollover motor vehicle accident with over 5 patients, other calls occurred in the town. Hearing the call volume and the numerous departments handling other calls surrounding us, Chief Charles Foster of the Marbletown Rescue Squad sent one of his crews to respond to a call on the west end of the district as no other units were available. Not since Hurricane Irene has a Marbletown ambulance operated in Shandaken, and just like in 2011, we are incredibly grateful that Chief Foster and his crew took the trip to help a town in need. Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say, and we'll have your back when you need us. Stay safe out there. Richard Muller-Liley, EMTP.
Thank you. Building zoning.
Building and zoning. This month we issued 19 building permits, 10 certificates of compliance, 5 floodplain permits, 7 certificates of occupancy, 3 event permits, 1 demo permit, and 2 stop work orders. On our safety inspections, there were 7 inspections and 6 visits.
Thank you. And there's no police report?
No.
Okay.
So this is the Phoenicia Water Report. The committee met on July 1st at Simpson Gazebo in Phoenicia, and Deputy Superintendent Joyce is still working on the standard operating procedure with the help of Superintendent Rick Yardella. The only Ulster County class available for Class A certification begins August 11th and runs evenings through November. This is the only one of the year. So SUNY Ulster does this class once a year, and if we're going to, it's very short notice for the deputy superintendent. I've already passed it along to him. We'll see if we can squeeze that in. Hope that I can get help making sure that they're paid in a timely way, given that it's just a few days. But an alternate to training might have to happen. And the next meeting is tomorrow, August 5th at 9 o'clock, again at Simpson Park Gazebo. Be there or be square.
I'll be there.
Bye.
Thank you. Kyle again, Pine Hill Water.
Andrew, did you have anything, or you want me to just?
Why don't you go then?
Very good. Pine Hill Water. I met with Steve Greener from Greener Electric about the generator. He's coming up with a quote. He's also He is talking with the people that actually, the company of that manufactures the generator, meeting him there up at the Waterhouse on August 14th, just to go over everything with him and the company. In the meantime, that we don't get a new generator, we're looking into taking the control board out of the old generator from the lower pump house, perhaps, and bringing it up to the upper pump house. We're looking to see if that's feasible or not, and we will be looking at that at August 14th. I also got a quote from MTC for internet and phone, or just internet, because the Verizon wire is cut. I believe that's a landline, and I believe that might be tough to repair, because I don't know if they repair landlines anymore. I would have to look into that a little bit more, but either way, if we are going to have surveillance of any kind in the future, we're going to need internet at that spot. But I do have those quotes.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I add a couple of things, please? We still have no signage on the buildings regarding the chemicals that are being stored inside. It may not be a regulation or a law, but I think that first responders would appreciate having that signage. Might cost us $15, might save a lot. There is no address marker on the building. I spoke with Chief Story. He was going to speak with the fire department. I have not heard back, but if somebody does go up there and see something, there is no way of describing where you are other than the water building. There is no number on the building. That should also be taken care of, and that's a minimal expense. Let's not wait on these little things. They could save lives, please. Thank you.
Sure.
Museum?
Yes, please, Joe. Writing some notes. Thanks, Kevin.
The monthly report for the Shandaken Historical Museum for July 2025. On Saturday, July 5th, the museum met with historian and former Chichester postmaster Charlie Zimmerman to work on a series of upcoming multimedia presentations about the history of the town of Shandaken and its 12 hamlets. The project is in collaboration with Pine Hills Morton Memorial Library and may be presented at the Phoenicia Theater. The presentation will be, the first initial presentation will be about the history of Chichester. The museum is working with Joyce Grant and the town of Shandaken, doing photo research for a historical sign commemorating the M.E. Methodist Church in the Oliveria Cemetery. On Friday, July 25th, the museum board met with a reporter from the Daily Freedman for a feature story on the Shandaken Historical Museum that will include interviews with the museum staff and photos. Noted author and historian Evan Pritchard will present part 2 of his Turtle Tracks presentation on August 16th. In this unique and exciting armchair adventure, he will guide us on a virtual journey along the Turtle Island Trail, now known as Route 22, from Montreal, Canada to Louisville, Kentucky. Through maps, photos, and historical text, he will complete this epic journey, ending on the Corn Island Falls on the Ohio River, arriving at dozens of Native American historical sites along the way. The museum will be holding our metal detecting weekend of August 9th and 10th, working with the Nor'easterners Metal Detecting Club of Stamford, Connecticut. This metal detecting adventure is available free for local property owners to find and unearth potentially rare or historically important metal treasures. The Nor'easterners have helped sponsor the museum for almost a decade. We look forward to literally digging into the history of Shandaken for many local sites and properties. The series of live concerts in Big Indian Park will continue on Sunday, August 10th, Sunday, August 24th, and again on Sunday, September 7th. Come out for great fun, handcrafted local cider, brews, wine, and a great food truck. It's family friendly and dog friendly too. No cover. In June, the museum had 40 visitors, many leaving generous contributions and messages of thanks and appreciation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. Sam.
Hi.
Hey, Sam.
Hi. So just wanted to start by saying that our Rock Cut manager, Nolan, he has moved out of state. So Joyce has posted that manager's position. Rock Cut is over by the new bridge in Mount Trumper. So please reach out to Joyce and, if you are interested in that position. I also want to thank Babs and Autumn for continuing the committee while I was out for a few months. Appreciate that. A couple of things that we went through is, well, number one, for Glenbrook, I have this agreement, the sales proposal for the playground equipment that does need your autograph. If I can give that to you. So that's for the playground.
Yeah.
Things that we were doing. We had, at our last meeting, we hadn't heard from our CREST funding, but we did finally hear from them, and Robert has put together everything we needed for Dasney to move forward with that, and we think that we can start the playground this year. So that'll be great. Glenbrook, we also, Joyce had said that the door was broken, so we asked to order that piece to replace that to close on its own, as well as the sink needs to be mounted properly. It is not actually mounted in one of the bathrooms at Glenbrook, and we didn't get the order in time for Nolan to do that before he left. So I did ask Rob Stanley to take a look. He said he has the parts, he can take care of it, so he will be taking care of that. As far as Big Indian, we have the summer music series going on Sundays over there. We were informed that some of the lighting needed to be removed. I don't think it's really necessary because you're not supposed to be in the parks after dark. They're like ground level lighting that was broken. So Nick Torres, our Smith Park manager, is an electrician. He took a look at them, said he has no problem removing them. As well as the monkey bars were broken. They are not going to be replaced just because of safety issues. So did those get removed there? I don't think they did yet, right? It's on the
tape on them.
We're working on a bridge now, so.
okay. Bridge is more important. Anyway, there's caution tape around them, so they're not to be used. I'm sorry, I just have to go back and forth between two things here. We're going to probably focus a little bit more on Big Indian Park next year or after Glenbrook Park is finished. Smith Park, the skate park has been running a Zeffie campaign, and they raised $500, which is enough for drawings of a concrete skate park, which we're hopeful can help with some flood mitigation in the future with that. There's a lot of garbage that's being left there from visitors, so that's an issue. Possibility of installing trail cams. The Pine Hill Fire Department also noticed that there is a little access point to the water over in Smith Park that I guess the town owns. It's not DC or DP or whoever other government agency. So we'd like to kind of make that more accessible as like a watering hole. I think the Pine Hill Fire Department would also like access to it.
As a rec thing or as
Yeah.
a fire
Both.
truck?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Both. We also have there's a new order rep at Bel Air, and she's Gigi, who owns the Bel Air Lodge. So we're hopeful that we can have some sort of connectivity between Smith Park and Bel Air Beach. Also hoping for some walking paths. Autumn met with somebody for a pump track for mountain bikes at Smith Park. Hoping to kind of include that maybe in the New York Forward grant with the Wellington project. Rock Cut Park, we realized that there's a lot of access to that park, and it seems like it's not really easily avoided. July 4th, I guess it was super packed. We don't own that property, but as
DOT and
yeah, and
DEP
property, but there's no one there to monitor the access to it. We're hoping maybe just at least some signage, things like, again, another little walking path for Analogy Trail.
Well,
to be
actually,
out there.
as a matter of our CRS community rating system, trying to get some extra points, we may take that over and get a permit like we do for Big
Okay.
Indian,
Oh.
so we would be more in charge of it.
Well, that's the agreement with DOT that's in place. Once we have a plan, the problem with the plan, as the Parks and Rec Committee knows, is that it's extremely flood prone. And
Yeah.
with
Oh,
the
yeah.
issues with the flood mapping that happened recently, it's more flood prone than we thought.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, we can't put any
yeah,
infrastructure
and-
down there per se.
Yeah, and the liability of
Other than signs.
Yeah, the signage is a super important thing, first step, because the liability of having people swim there, even if it's purely DOT owned right now.
Yeah.
But once we take over, there's still going to be people that want to go down there.
Of course, of course.
As we come up with a plan, which I think we're moving more in the direction of pollinator pathway, bird boxes, fishing access, that kind of thing, that's going to be a good first step.
And then moving on, Parish Field. So everyone's been working very hard on the mini golf. That's going to be, the ribbon cutting will be Friday, August 29th with the Phoenicia Festival of the Arts. And they're also doing on August 15th and 16th, they're gonna start really building that, looking for volunteers to help. That'll be at Parish Field. Do we have a time?
I think that's gonna be all day on the 15th and 16th, don't you, Ellie?
I think so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ellie, for helping with that. Thank you, Varga, for getting the pieces donated and hoping to reach out, and have some sponsorships for the different holes. But I think that'll be a fun little project. I think that's, oh, and because I've kind of been out of the loop for a while, I'm hoping that someone can sort of break down budget, expense year to date and remaining, so that I know what we've got left for at least what we can do until the winter comes. That's it.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Vicki with the Housing Committee. Quick update on the housing inventory site map. Kai has completed it to the best of his ability. He's going to come to our housing meeting on September 22nd, fourth Monday, to present his findings. And again, the idea is that he will identify, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 15 sites that could potentially hold new housing units. I would love for you guys to save the date and try to come. I will also be reaching out with a save the date to the planning and zoning boards and the building department, and we'd love to get all of you guys out. I'll send a reminder after Labor Day. Excuse me. It's really important that we get as many of you guys out as possible, because this is going to be a preliminary presentation. And based on feedback, questions, comments that you all have, he'll then go back and do some final revisions, and then we'll have more of a finished product. That's it.
Thank you.
Just, I mean, you may not know this, but are these identified places, do the property owners know?
Well, it kind of depends. I don't know the full answer to that. Okay. Basically, he's going to be presenting it from a standpoint of data.
Okay.
So probably not. It could be that this property is 12 acres. It could hold 3 houses.
Right, right.
It's in tax arrears, and
Right.
then we decide what to do. I mean, a lot of this is very preliminary, because it's going to be another year or two.
Oh, sure.
Before we even have our zoning overhaul and can do anything. And then we have to raise money, get investors, whatever, to do any building. But at least we would have a map, which would then kind of guide us as we move through the rest of this process to see what we're even looking at.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. No CAC. Beth is on vacation. Oh, Kathy's here.
Great. Good evening. This is a monthly report for the CAC committee. On July 5th, the CAC participated in the annual Township 4th of July parade. We were joined by several community members in electric vehicles, including and to highlight our township's newly acquired Chevy Blazer. Our CAC July meeting hosted in July was part 2 of our education series for Shandaken Prepares, Protect the Life You've Built. Part 1 addressed flooding, Part 2 addressed woodland fire safety, emergency preparedness, and property protection. We had various speakers from local fire departments, the DEC, Town Fire Inspector, and Catskill Forestry Association. 45 residents were in attendance, and as of August 1st, the meeting video had been viewed 75 times. The Shandaken compost program continues to grow. We would like to thank the donation made by Sam Linton and Juan Rosales, as we were able to purchase a hydraulic lift for the compost bins. This lift is invaluable addition to the management of our compost program. And finally, our CAC meeting in August has been canceled, and our next regular meeting will be Monday, September 15th.
Thanks,
you.
Scott. Anything on the comp plan? The last meeting at
There was a meeting on
two.
It was one in Pine Hill, one in Phoenicia. I believe that was July 29th, I believe that was. Very well attended, probably about 50 or 60 people at both of them, largely going over the results of the first survey, indicating that cell service, environmental conservation, and housing were the top 3 issues identified in that survey. The second survey is still out and available and sort of interrogating those 3 core concerns in more detail. So if you have not already, certainly encouraging everyone to fill out the second survey, which can be found on the comprehensive plan tab of shandaken.gov.
Great. Okay. I'm gonna do some motions. We're gonna hire Dixane Guy for a summer camp for rec counselor at $16 per hour. Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Also gonna make a motion that we apply for a grant from AWSMP for SMIP funding for the Chichester LFA.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion that we go into executive session at the end of this meeting to talk about properties for the town hall.
Second. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any other motions we need to do?
The golf, the mini golf. We need to take ownership of the mini golf.
We take ownership of some golf equipment.
The mini
that's
golf,
been-
which
mini
was
golf
donated by, who was the
equipment.
name of the gentleman?
The mini golf course was donated by Lucid Dreaming Mini Golf, which was a project of Brendan Bo O'Connor and Liam Singer, and they donated it to Adam Zaretsky's not-for-profit Beak Bioethical Art Commission, Advisory Commission, and Beak accepted it, so Beak is gifting it to the town of Shandaken.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm really excited for my children and everybody's children and grandparents and everybody who's making it possible for it to be a bigger project. Ellie is sort of captaining some created pieces that she designed in CAD, and we have some other people. Babs Mansfield has been very helpful, and I'm so grateful.
Very cool.
We are saying yes, right?
We make that motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Thank you. So good.
All right, let's move on to resolutions.
Did we do?
Public comments on resolutions, I'm sorry, yes. Public comments on resolutions.
On resolutions.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure that we all are on the same page that, what is it? Number 99 is just for a public hearing that we're voting on tonight.
Yes.
Just for, so
Yes.
Also
the public,
98, yeah.
and 98.
And we need to alter the time on both of them, I believe, because doesn't that overlap with the presentation by
Right,
SLR
so
on the bridge?
let me make the presentation from 5:30 to 6:30, and then 6:30 start the
The
public hearings.
Public hearings, okay.
What's the presentation?
Presentation is for the Phoenicia flood mitigation project, which may or may not happen in the future, near or far. But SLR did a great design work on some flood benches and flood mitigation, flood resilience on the Stony Clove and on the Esopus by both those.
SLR presentation.
Yes.
5:30. 5:30 on September 8th.
Yes, September 8th.
September 8th.
We don't have these dates. You guys are all talking about dates, I don't have these dates.
September 8th is the next town board meeting.
Yeah, what's the,
The presentation is going to be the starting point for the SLR, and that's at 5:30 to 6:30. And then we're talking about the public hearings for 98 and 99 to be, 6:30 to 6:45, and then from 6:45 to 7 o'clock.
this
In
one's
conceptual
this one's
development.
6:45. Okay.
I just wanted to make one comment of the compound resolution about to come up. We were thinking we would put this off to the next year, but prices are already rising astronomically for this equipment. It's changed drastically in the 2 months since the initial proposal was put in. And so we're hoping to do it in this year, as Sam mentioned earlier. To that end, generally speaking, we had asked that the water be cut off in October, and I think we're going to need to keep it on until there's a freeze. So I'm hoping that I can work with whoever you choose to turn off the water, on the water. That was Nolan Wilder's job, and he's no longer here. So please advise me who we can use.
For Glenbrook Park you're talking about?
Yeah.
Turn on and turn off the water? Yeah.
Call Rob.
Yeah.
He's fixing this thing.
He knows where it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I actually do, but know where it is, where
Yeah.
the cutoff is.
Okay.
Resolution 9725, resolution to pay all bills. Then move its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 9825, resolution to schedule a public hearing for the purpose of amending town code to allow for alternate members of the planning board and zoning board of appeals on September 8th at 6:30 PM and move its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 99, resolution to hold a public hearing for the purpose of amending town telecommunications code, section 116, and I move its adoption.
For September 8th at
For September 8th at
6:45.
6:45.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 100-25, a resolution in support of acquiring the Phoenicia Elementary School property for the purpose of building mixed affordable and market value housing with community space. I move its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 101-25, resolution to hire Compan to build a natural playground at Glenbrook Park via the Omnia Partners contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is that the other one before? That we're getting, hopefully Phoenicia School for housing? That's good.
We were quietly, sorry.
Before asking about that.
Resolution 10225, Oliveria Cemetery Admin Sexton, and move its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We lost it after that.
Resolution 103-25, resolution to hire Shadbush Consulting to complete Shandaken's natural resource inventory and move its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 104-25, resolution to hire Hudsonia Limited to perform GIS mapping as part of Shandaken's natural resource inventory, and I move its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 105-25, obligating ARPA funds updated, and move its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolution number 106-25, resolution to appoint dog kennel volunteers. I'm just going to list these volunteers quick. Emily Baker, James Ford, Chris Craig, and Sarah Craig. Francesco Dotto. And move its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Go Volunteers.
Resolution 10725, resolution to appoint recycling attendant. Therefore be resolved that James Cowan at $15.50 per hour, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 7:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And move its adoption.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Open for public comment.
Hi, I'm Molly from Andrew Lane Road, Mount Chemper. 45 years I've been there, which makes me feel old. It's a long time. It's a little hard to come up here and have a complaint after seeing everyone here with what they're offering Shandaken, but I know that's part of life. So I came here to first ask if the town could maybe work on lowering the speed limit on Andrew Lane Road. So my issue is with the traffic from Fox Fire Mountain House. It really seems to have reached a really high level over the last couple of years. They're extremely successful. According to their website, they do weddings up to 140 people, and the traffic for the wedding begins Friday and ends Sunday. Car after car after car, all the way until midnight, 4 or 5 cars at a time, and the cars speed because it's just a straightaway, so they come around the corner of Andrew Lane and they just roar. And then during the week when it should be quieter, we have all the delivery trucks, think Baldors, food, flowers, big trucks barreling down, and it's becoming untenable. It's becoming dangerous. They're putting potholes in the road. They also do monthly dinners in the woods for people. They have barbecues. They have the 2 cabins that they rent out to guests further down on Andrew Lane Road. They do use the Kakasaki buses, which I think they do shuttle some of the guests there, but I think they do that because of the overflow in their parking lot, which is quite small. So they were, I believe, grandfather clawed in, and so it took some years for them to build up their business. And I think there was some rules in place about how many cars they could have in the parking lot, but many years have passed, and I don't know if they're staying within, if there is any boundaries within zoning, how many cars they're allowed there. I would love for someone in the town to look into it. I talked to Grace, but she hasn't gotten back to me. I wanted to try to get the original zoning agreement to see. So I think 30 miles an hour is just too fast. I'm not confident that if we lower it to 20, people are going to pay attention, but at least we can say, look, you're speeding. And then I think it would be nice to get one of those traffic signs. I talked to Brian Slack from the Transportation Department. He reached out to the supervisor that they could lend Shandaken one of those speed radar signs. They're small. I think they're maybe solar powered and they're movable. You could have them on that road, maybe for the summer. You could move them to another area. I think that would be just as effective as a slow down speed, because when you see how fast you're going.
You guys okay with that if I
Take
ask
it.
for one of those?
Yeah, I think that's probably the better option of the two, as opposed to just lowering the speed altogether. Because I'm not confident that lowering it by 10 miles an hour is going to make anybody go 10 miles an hour slower.
I know, it just gives a little ground for something, but what, you know, but I
But
know.
when the light flashes in your face, you tend to slow down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're
definitely.
right, and they're small. I mean, I don't want to see
I
something
know,
lighting up.
and short of parking either a police cruiser there or putting
Yeah.
speed bumps on every 10
Speed bumps
feet.
would be the best.
Every 10
Yeah,
feet, you
it's
know,
not gonna-
then I don't know what's
Yeah.
gonna slow people down. But we can, guys are okay with that?
Yeah,
If we do
those
that
signs definitely work.
summer
Yeah.
and fall? Okay.
So what I wanted to say is, like, when I went to a meeting of the Comprehensive Plan Committee, and they talked about in the presentation, like a really good community has mixed zoning, and my heart just dropped because I live in an area of what feels like mixed zoning. So we have the rail bikes behind us, then we have the wedding venue, then they bought 2 other cabins. So I feel like I'm living in a commercial zone, and I feel, you know, it was so bad about a month ago, the level of traffic that weekend, that I just thought I have to move, I have to sell. And I think I started to think about like where's the equality between just a plain old citizen of Shandaken, a tax-paying Ulster County resident, and a tourist bringing in business.
I know, and we've always been a tourist-oriented town, and it's hard to buck against that because it's our only.
Yeah, but I mean, as someone living through it, I'm like, so the tourists come and they speed down the road and then they go home, but I can't go anywhere. I am home. This is my home.
Okay.
So it feels, sometimes I feel a little heartbroken. And then I feel for other people going through that. So until it happens to you, you don't care as much if it's happening to someone else because it's not happening on your road. You'd have to like really be in our shoes. And so I did hear a rumor today about 15 Andrew Lane Road, that it was potentially going to be another wedding venue or a hotel. So I don't know if that's come up yet, but it's kind of a mansion up there that they've been working on, and I heard it from someone who might know.
That one up in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if no one's heard wind of this. So.
I've not heard.
Yeah. Okay. So that sign would be great, you know, especially they do weddings all the way until November. You know, any chance we can get it before the end of summer. And then when you guys want to move it, you could bring it somewhere else. And
I'll put
and maybe
the request
we could look,
in tomorrow.
And maybe we could look into if there are any rules about the level of amount of cars at the venue.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else, Ken? Mosey on up.
Yeah, moseying. As Babs mentioned about the rising tariffs and all the stuff that's happening, and Sam gave you that proposal on your desk, I was hoping that maybe I could steal you for 2 minutes before your executive session to sign it and talk to you about it a little bit further so we can move that forward. So, if you or just 2 minutes to talk after this is supposed. And that
it just
proposal
needs my signature?
It just needs your signature, yeah. And then you're fancy free to go.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Are we all okay with this?
Well, we approved it by resolution.
Yeah. I mean,
It is going to need a tax exempt certificate. You've probably got that, right?
I have it on my bulletin board, I have it on the copy. Who's gonna send it? Should I send the letter? I have the letter.
Send it to her.
I'm gonna send it.
Touch base tomorrow. I'll send it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's just the taxes, not the money. We can send it. Oh, it's worked for 13 years, I assume it's the right thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, you just need the number?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I need the.
Oh, thank you.
So you need the fancy ladder.
1, 4, 10.
You know the number?
I don't have it. No, I don't. It's in my office. I'll email it to you.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Okay. Wait, the signature?
The number.
Okay.
But here's the signature. Any other public comments before we go into executive session? Okay, I make a motion that we close the regular meeting.
Just want to, real quick, I have a public comment. I just want to wish my daughter happy birthday. Her birthday was July 31st. She just turned 4. Wow. Freya Ray, Mommy and Daddy love you.
Second.
Did she watch our meetings?
She can on YouTube.
Everybody does, Joyce, everybody does.
Yeah.
We are planning a ribbon cutting at the festival on Friday, August 29th at 5 p.m., to which we have invited many people. Sarah Kramer Harrison, who is the new head of Arts, Culture, and Open Spaces, the director of Arts, Culture. Is that correct, Babs? Director.
Yes, and Lisa.
Lisa Berger as well, and then everybody from the town board, please, you are welcome, please to come. And Michelle Hinchy may come, though she's getting married this summer, so she might not be able to. But if she is, she's coming as well. And Joyce, obviously, we'd love to have you there as well. And mini golf ribbon cutting, we're gonna make it funky and fun. We hope you can be there. August 29th, 5 p.m.
Very good. I'm going to make a motion to close the regular town board meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion that we open an executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And if everybody's headed.
Oh, thank you. We're back. Make a motion to reopen the regular town board meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we discussed some land properties that we're looking to put a town hall on, and I'm going to make a motion that we contact the realtor, real estate agent to help us wade through the purchasing or at least investigating of properties
Related to the town hall.
for
Yeah.
town hall
Yeah.
and highway garage complex.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We're going to adjourn the meeting in the memory of Joan Montgomery and Clinton Cure Jr. Make the motion for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone.